E-W-S.
The Overnight Underground News Podcast. Here's today's headlines. The cancel culture just keeps rolling along. Disney and Paramount are targeted with the cancellation bullseye. Boris Johnson brings back sex to the Brits.
Oh, yes.
New York offers coronavirus sex advice, and the Republicans are moving to Florida. Well, not all of them. These stories and more on today's Overnight Underground News. I'm John Ford. Well, we're still keeping tabs on everything these social justice pharisees have banned or canceled in the last 24 hours. Let's see. HBO Max has temporarily removed the movie Gone with the Wind from their streaming service. I guess HBO believes the film adaptation of Margaret Mitchell's book is just too vile for us uneducated plebes to view.
That's true.
The network said that it will reinstate the classic film with an updated statement on racial depictions within the film. That should be okay. They believe as long as I watch it with a proper explanation from a corporate shill that gives me a dispensation to view it with their objective viewpoint of right think, it'll all be good. Frankly, HBO,
I don't give a damn.
Let's see, what else? Oh, the show Cops has been canceled. Paramount has canceled the show after over 3 decades of cop chases, meth busts, and toothless hooker arrests.
A hooker is a terrible thing to waste.
A spokesman... Wait, can I say men? Is that still allowed?
No.
Anyway, a spokespronoun said, quote, Cops is not on the Paramount network, and we don't have any current or future plans for it to return. Viewers of the show also issued a statement saying, now that Cops is not on the Paramount network, we don't have any current or future plans for us to return to the network. The show Live PD also looks like it may soon get the axe. However, the host of the show, Dan Abrams, tweeted the show will return, despite an uproar over their filming and subsequent erasure of a black man's death during a 2019 Texas police stop. Of course, resumption of Live PD assumes that the U.S. will have any remaining police departments for the camera crews to follow around after the current mass hysteria for defunding and abolishment of the popo. Oh, and there are calls to have Disney shut down Splash Mountain. The kerfluffle is all due to the ride being themed on a now anathema Disney movie, Song of the South. Advocates have set up a petition to force the Mouse House to change the attraction. I know, how about Space Splash Mountain, where the Imperial Stormtroopers force you into a Turkish steam bath at gunpoint with Jabba the Hutt, just to prove you're not racist or something. Today, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson introduced a new term for sex, the support bubble.
From this weekend, we will allow single adult households, adults living alone, or single parents with children under 18, to form a support bubble with one other household. All those in a support bubble will be able to act as if they live in the same household, meaning they can spend time together inside each other's homes and do not need to stay 2 meters apart.
I wonder if this means Pornhub Premium isn't free anymore. Yeah. I think this move by the Brits is primarily for those who can't keep their cock down during lockdown. Who knows? Maybe for those over 50, support bubble is just slang for erectile dysfunction drugs. Meanwhile, across the pond in New York City, city health officials have delivered updated guidance for sex in the Big Apple and other places too.
Oh my God.
The advisory advises to, quote, be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers, like walls that allow sexual contact while preventing close face-to-face contact. So, are they saying that glory holes are okay?
Yes, we do.
If social distancing isn't your thing, the advisory recommends well-ventilated spaces for group sex. And who doesn't? And don't forget to bring along your alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Yeah, you gotta keep those hands clean. You never know where they've been.
Johnny liked to use his hands too much. I like hands and fingers.
According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Mark Morgan, The drones used during the Washington protests/riots were not used to spy on protesters. Morgan told ABC News that, quote, "We were not providing any resources to surveil lawful, peaceful protesters. That's not what we were doing." I totally believe that.
Shit.
Rumor has it that the Republicans will move their convention to Jacksonville. According to multiple sources, including the U.S. News and World Report, the RNC is planning a two-part convention, which will take place in two separate locations, with the big shindigs taking place in Jacksonville. Even though Jacksonville has plenty of hotels and venues for the convention, the RNC may have a hell of a time finding anything big enough to house Trump's massive ego. Jacksonville, huh? That reminds me of the old joke. What has 8 legs and 3 teeth? Why, the night shift at the Jacksonville Waffle House, of course.
N-E-W-S.
A mostly correct and occasionally incomplete transcript and links to reference sources and articles of this Overnight Underground can be found at overnightunderground.com.